Hey everyone, this is Heather Chesky. I am so excited to be here live with you today. Today is a very special day. I am actually interviewing Brooke Dixon, who you see on the screen as well. We're going to be talking about marketing and model programs. So basically, if you haven't heard of me yet, my name is Heather Chesky. If this is the first time that you're watching one of my lives, I'm so glad that you're here. If you're here live, go ahead and pop on and say, tell me where you're watching from and tell me what you photograph. And then if you're watching the replay, thank you so much for watching the replay. Today's Facebook Live is really going to be talking about Brooke and her business and the transformation it has made in a relatively short amount of time. You'll hear from her in her own words what it was like for her to implement a model program and how her business is doing now. So actually, Brooke, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, say hello, tell us, where you're from and what do you actually photograph and all of that.
Okay, and my name is Brooke Dixon. So I am a senior photographer in Columbus, Ohio. I've been in business for a little over a year, working with Heather for the past 4 months. So last year, I just kind of fell into seniors and realized quickly that I loved photographing seniors. And then recently, probably months or so, I decided to solely focus my business on seniors and not take as many other inquiries. So I've started my senior model program and it's really enough.
I think we're having a little bit of connection issues because I didn't quite hear everything. If you can hear us, and go ahead and click in the comment section if you can hear us and see us and everything's okay. I have bad weather today where I am, so it might be a connection on my end. But just to go ahead and repeat what Brooke said, she's from Ohio. She's a senior photographer, started really her business last year. Fell into seniors, found out she really loved it. Is that right, Brooke? Anything else you want to add to that?
No, I really just fell into seniors and that's what I've been focusing on.
Awesome. So Brooke and I have actually been working together. She's been a one-on-one coaching client of mine for the past 4 months now. And one of the things that we have focused in on in her business is marketing through a model program. So if you're a photographer watching this, I hear this from all the time, that marketing is one of those things that is just so overwhelming and so frustrating for photographers to do. A lot of times they might be unclear on who their target client is. They don't know how to market their business. They're trying to do everything that they see every other photographer is doing online, and they're just not getting results or traction that they really, really want. And I really believe that a model program, when it's executed strategically, can totally revolutionize your business. I've been doing a model program in my business for the past 5 years. And it's really one of the main reasons why I'm able to stay at home with my 2 young kids and actually support my family and not work super crazy hours. So Brooke, before implementing the model program, can you tell me a little bit about what your business looked like and how you felt and kind of like what your experiences were?
Yeah, so I actually work as a nurse. So this is something that I do kind of on the side-ish. It's kind of 2 full-time jobs, but I was working nonstop. So between clients and totally burnt out. By the end of November, really, I kind of did not want to photograph anything else. I did not want to take on any new clients. And really, I was so burnt out that December, kind of January through I'll say March of this year, I didn't pick up my camera because I was so burnt out. I just, I guess just having all these clients and having the turnover have to be so quickly. I was editing and not feeling inspired at all. Right. Definitely feeling the brunt of shoot and burn.
Right. And that's another big thing to say too, is that the shoot and burn model, where basically you're hired, for those of you who might not know what that is, if you're a new photographer in the industry or considering starting your business, the shoot and burn model is basically where a client books you for a session, you photograph the session and then basically hand over the digitals. normally they're priced pretty low. Brooke, what was yours priced at?
$250.
So basically you're providing, how many images?
Usually 60 to 70 images.
Okay, 60 to 70 images per portrait session. You had an hour time communicating with your clients, an hour to photographing. How long did it take you to edit all those?
I made my turnaround time towards the end, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I having them and their session that gave me a buffer. So I mean, I was still pretty slow at editing them, so it would definitely take some time.
Yeah, it would take, I hear of, and this may or may not be you, but I hear photographers spending hours on hours, like upwards, maybe 10 hours just editing a session, and then basically sending off a digital gallery where their clients can download from, and only charging really $250. And when you factor in, okay, that's 10 to 15 hours of work. You still haven't even factored in your cost of doing business and actually your insurance, upgrading for new gear, actually paying yourself. And to be only charging $250 is really, really cutting yourself off the knees. It's not a great way to grow a business that is actually sustainable. Yeah. Now, if you're doing this just for fun and you want a portfolio build, if you have if you don't want to do, I'm not coming down on shoot and burn photographers. There's definitely a time and a place, and there is a market for it. But I just want to make it clear that if you want to have if you want to make consistent income and not be always working or behind your computer, chances are, choosing the in-person sales model would be a much better fit. So Brooke, why don't you tell us about the transition? Just before we got on the call live, she was sharing with me how, she just had photographed one of her models, and, who placed an order of over $1,000. And how she is working a fraction of the amount of time that she used to work. So tell me more about that.
Yeah. So I think my biggest aha moment was when my husband and I were talking, and he said, I love that you have this photography business, but it takes up all of your time. Yeah. And it does. If I'm not at a shoot, I'm at home editing. And if I'm not any of those places, I'm at work. So that was kind of a big moment for me. I always used to see people talk about IPS and doing the in-person sales and didn't really know what that all entailed. I always thought it was an unattainable thing. And it's funny, when I got my, and I went to an IPS photographer. So I was a model and saw how it could work years, but just didn't know how to implement it. So I think the biggest thing was figuring out all of the logistics, but I think you really just have to jump in with both feet. And it's so much easier than I ever thought it would be. Yeah. We've changed our loft into my little IPS studio, and I love it. And I find myself, I had a couple seniors my previous pricing, and they were kind of at the end of our session, they were like, we don't get to see you anymore. And I'm like, I know, it's just kind of we build this bond, and then I don't see which pictures you love. And I definitely am a lot more fulfilled with this model of photography. And like Heather said, it's not to say anything bad about shoot and burn photographers. This is just so much more fulfilling for my life and my husband hanging out when I'm not editing. And that is just really priceless to me.
Yes, it is. And the whole reason that I guess we got into the in-person sales conversation is that the model program that I teach on and that I coach on is really based off of an in-person sales business, where basically you're building a relationship with your client and they are choosing to purchase albums and wall art and all of that. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the model program part specifically. Sure. Now, Brooke, did you ever try doing a model program previously to us coaching together?
I had not. I had lots of ideas and dreams about having a model program, I think my biggest fear was that nobody would want to do it. So that prevented me from even trying most of the time.
And that right there, that's huge. I'm really glad you say that, because I hear that from a lot of photographers where they just feel like, okay, well, what if I do this and nobody joins? And that what if, and that their fear is leading their business, and your fear has no place in your business. Like, fear is real. I'm not going to, deny that. Feel the feelings, but then put them aside and actually run your business. So thank you for bringing that point up, because you're definitely not alone in feeling the fear. If you feel the fear, I mean, I have felt it too, but financial freedom or business success, however you define it, it does not come from fear. So basically you just have to learn to put that aside and do what's best for your business, do what's best for your clients. And that does not involve fear at all. So why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit more about, why you chose to coach with me specifically, and then also why you wanted to do this model program as one of your focuses for our time together.
Yeah. So I want to say my first big, really realization that coaching with you would be something that I should invest in, is when you did the senior model webinar. That was so life-changing, because I took so many notes and it made so much sense to me. Because I think the biggest thing that I had seen before with other photographers was the application process. Afraid of people don't. I've only been in business for just over a year, so a lot of people did know my name, but a lot of people didn't. So what would kind of encourage a senior to book with me and apply to be in my senior model program that instead of somebody else? So that was one of my biggest fears. And then when you talked about just the steps of a senior model program, I had a great relationship with the senior girls that I photographed last year. And I knew that they would be very beneficial in helping me establish my senior model program. And once I kind of had that realization, I knew that this is something that I could do and that would be great for my business. I think also just the creativity, there's so many, I had so many ideas of model shoots that I wanted to do and scout my senior model, then try to do a model call or anything like that.
Right.
That was definitely something that into establishing this. I saw how successful it could be, and I wanted to give that a try.
Yeah. Aren't you glad you did?
Yeah, I'm so glad. I love my models. Yeah. They're so great. And
yeah, that's awesome. It just dawned on me that maybe, some photographers listening to this might not know what a model program is, or maybe have, heard of it here and there. But if you don't know what a model program is, just to tell you really quickly, it's a long program, a year long. Mine's a little bit more than a year long program. Where basically you're working with a core group of people. I particularly photograph high school seniors. The model program itself is not only senior specific. I also work with newborn photographers who've implemented this and had a lot of success with newborn photography. So basically whatever genre you photograph, and it's a year-long program where you're working with a core group of clients. You're doing a lot of fun sessions together, a lot of different model type sessions. Just this past week, I took my model team up to Ocean City and we did our 50s retro theme shoot. Brooke, what are some of your special sessions?
So actually this Sunday we are doing a paint fight session with Holly Paint, and my seniors are so excited. When I was like, okay, girls, what do you want? We met a couple, and they were like, we love all of your ideas. Okay, well, that's super fun. So these are my ideas. Let's. So that's October. We're doing a camping theme, camping s'mores themed, and they're so excited about that as well. And then I also do a volunteer event, and a lot of them have brought that up to me, okay, what are we doing? Do we get to do this? And I'm like, that's great that they're so excited about giving back as well.
Yeah. And just that's actually one of the core principles that I actually like to coach on with the model program is actually, I call it a big event, like hosting your big event where where you give back to the community. You may have heard me talk about my big event, but basically I host a self-defense class for my models and their friends and their moms. It's basically a whole community event. And I partner with a martial arts studio, and it's just an afternoon where these girls can learn how to defend themselves if the situation ever arises when they actually go off to college in the fall. And so basically the whole idea of a model program is, yes, to market your business, but to also make a difference in these girls' lives and to make a difference in the community. So one of the things that I really believe, any business must have to be successful and to really touch lives and make a positive difference is to give back. Brooke, tell me more about your volunteer, because yours is with the Headbands, right?
Yes.
It ties into your work, which I think is an amazing idea.
Yes, I am a pediatric college nurse, and that is so my big event is there's a headband company called Headbands for Hope that specializes in donating headbands to pediatric cancer patients. And so in December, we are actually playing around with, but we're basically going to volunteer for one of the local charities that specializes in helping out pediatric cancer families and just doing something that works to help them. But where the headbands come in is they have agreed to kind of help out with one of our shoots. So we're going to do a shoot as well as kind of help out that population. So special to me. I love that I get to kind of bring together, and my girls are so excited about that.
Yes. One of the things that is actually really key as you think about marketing your business and just people in general, everybody has needs, but one of our core basic needs as human is just to be a part of something bigger than ourselves, be a part of a community. So when you do a model program, one, you're providing that community for your clients, whether they're new moms or whether they're high school seniors or, a tween. This could totally work for tweens too. So you're providing a community. And then also one of those core basic needs that all of us have is we want to be able to give back. Everybody feels good when they give back. So if you can provide a place for seniors, for new moms, for anybody who can actually give back and make a difference, they're wanting to be involved in that. And that's a great way to one, spread about the cause that you're passionate about. I'm definitely passionate about helping girls learn how to defend themselves. And I'm definitely passionate about, you need to know how to fight. And I take a stand against sexual violence and against sexual assault. And I want to prepare my girls so that they have that confidence and they feel empowered to stand up against that sort of thing. And Brooke is passionate about pediatric oncology and making a difference there. So really it's kind of blending your passions with photography, marketing your business, and then also another passion that you have that can really change someone else's life. Really kind of ties in the whole model program idea. And it's just a great way to really connect with your clients, really make a difference, get your name out there. So often I hear of photographers who are just like, I don't know what else to do to get my name out there. And honestly, it starts with service. When you can actually step outside of yourself and start serving your clients where they're at, seeing a need and then fulfilling that need. I saw a need within my clients when it came to just, heading off to school and not really feeling prepared. I actually had an experience with sexual assault when I headed off to college. And so that's something that, is deep inside of me that I want to just help girls with. Brooke has hers with the oncology. I mean, there's other photographers who take a stand and help with Special Olympics is a big one, where, high school girls are really into volunteering with that sort of thing. So really the ideas are endless. It's just really providing that opportunity where you can take a part of something bigger than yourself. So anything else you'd like to share, Brooke?
I just want to, especially as a new girl, it's easy to look at other people's business, have that, oh my gosh, why can't I do that kind of attitude? So I think the biggest thing is just to go for it. If you would have told me 4 months ago that I would be doing IPS session, model program, and have like at you because I just did not feel like it was attainable. But I think the biggest small goals and just reach them, coaching obviously with Heather was the best I've made for my business. My business has completely changed, and it's something that is great for my family. That work-life balance is great. My creativity is absolutely fulfilled. So I just encourage all of the photographers that feel like they can't have a successful senior model program or do IPS to go for it, because you can absolutely do it.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that leads to feeling like you can't is just not having a game plan and not having that structure. Having clarity totally leads to success. And so having a clear model program structure in place definitely leads to the success of your business. And Brooke, hope you don't mind, but I want to share. So Brooke did shoot and burn last year and she made some money, but then she did model signups for her model program. And you want to share like the big news?
Yeah, so my goal this year was 3 models, which I have 2 levels, and kind of they could choose between the 2 levels. So I have 6 models this year, which is awesome, and made more than I did in my whole last season of photography, just by senior model signups. So that was definitely a huge win for me. And it's funny, I was telling Heather that I delivered products, one of them placed another order as I delivered them because she was so excited. And that just makes me so happy to see them so excited, and seeing your work in 3D and actual print is an amazing feeling for sure.
And it's also amazing for your clients to see themselves that way too. Like, yes, it's amazing to see your work like that, but then to also see, like, if you're your client and to see, a photo of themselves in 3D too, also is special to them. So I just want to repeat what you said because it's so huge. So basically Brooke did her entire last year, she did shoot and burn, and she was booked. You did pretty good. But then this past year you had model meetings all in 1 week, correct? And within that 1 week, you made more than you did last year just in model signups.
Yes, absolutely.
And the cool thing is that this model program is something that you can implement every single year, year after year after year. And as you are in it, working it, you're going to, work out the kinks and make it better year after year after year. So that's only going to grow, which is super exciting.
Yeah. And it's so funny because I've already had girl ask my for next, insane to me, but a couple juniors have reached out, and that's the best thing ever.
Yes. Well, definitely keep track of those names, because if they're showing this much interest this early on, they are going to be really awesome models to have on your team. So if you guys have any questions as you're listening, I noticed a few of you are on live. Go ahead and pop them in the comment section. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick look, see if anybody has mentioned anything. But Brooke alluded to a senior model program webinar that I did. Honestly, I think it was back in May was when I did it last, which is quite a while ago. But anyways, I'm actually gearing up to do another one. Maybe this week, next week, definitely. I'm still working out the dates. So if you are interested in getting on that same, well, it's not the same, it's updated material too, but the webinar that Brooke was referring to, where I kind of just lay out the model program from start to finish, the whole Cliff Note version of the entire, what a year would look like, you can go ahead and sign up for that. There is a link in the comment section of the Facebook Live where basically you can download a checklist first, and then the webinar is completely free, and we're going to be going pretty in depth into each of one of those steps during the webinar. So if you want to join that, I would love to have you go ahead and click on that link and sign up for it. Brooke, is there anything else you would like to share before we go ahead and sign off?
Anyone, I think that right before I committed to coaching with Heather, I was kind of not lenient, but hesitant because I didn't really know how this would change my business. And I would definitely recommend that you do it. Just who is further along in the process than you are is invaluable. Like being able to email Heather all hours to ask her just little tiny questions and then just to transform your business is something that you really can't put a price on. So I say, do it. You won't regret it. I'm so sad that our time is almost over because I've learned so much. But I would definitely recommend just invest because it will 100% change it.
Yeah. So basically, I already made all the mistakes and you don't have to. I've already screwed up quite a bit and I'm happy to share all of that information. Danny actually just asked, is it too late for me to implement a model program this year? And honestly, no, it's not. I'm working with another one-on-one client. She just had her meetings last week for the 2018 crew and got some. So it is definitely not too late at all. And I would say you could probably, do it. There's no reason not to. Even if you just get a handful this year, that's fine too. Even if you wanted to kind of like take your time and plan out, really plan out the structure of your model program. I normally look for my models in January of their junior year, and that's going to be around the corner before you know it. It's going to be here. So it's never too late to start. The great thing about working with high school seniors is there's always a new year coming, so you're not going to run out of it. The biggest thing is just to stop. You can have any number of excuses, but excuses are going to keep you stuck. Just go ahead, push the fear to the side and just jump in and you won't regret it. So if you want to see the webinar, I don't have an exact date yet, but I will let you know, but go ahead and sign up anyways with the link that is in the comment section of this Facebook Live. I'll be sure to let you know. And otherwise, thank you so much for watching, guys. Brooke, thank you so much for sharing your insight with us. I am, so thankful to have been working with you and just excited for your business. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Leave us some love, click the heart icon, and have a wonderful day. All right, bye guys.